Starting. Okay, great. So welcome to class number 2 on our welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at different verb tenses. Basically some of the basics and some other things related. So please let me know if you have any questions. And actually, if you can unmute yourself to talk, that would be best because I'm only on the page where the slides will be. So if you just hold on 1 second, and I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me know if you can see it, okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so first, welcome back to Ntinga again. And this is the basic overview of tenses, all right? So we'll start with the very basic. What is a tense? Okay, a tense is something that refers to time, and the basic tenses are the past or present, past, and future. Okay, and there are 12 tenses in the active voice. Okay, there is the passive voice tense, and within that passive voice, there probably are another 12 tenses because the passive voice you can use in any tense. Okay, so basically 12 tenses to start, but it could double. Any questions so far? It's pretty simple here.
Can you give me an example of an active voice and a passive voice?
Oh, sure. Okay, so active is basically when you have the subject, verb, and complement. He likes chocolate, for example. Okay. Passive is when the subject isn't necessarily a person. It can be, doesn't have to be. But normally in the passive voice, it's the action that is most important. For example, a book was written. Okay, doesn't matter who wrote the book. I just care that the book was written. Does that make sense, Thomas?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right, good. So let's see. Any other questions?
Not so far.
No? Okay.
Everything is clear for now.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark. All right, let's go down to, this is slide 2. All right, to divide up some of these, because in the present tense, we have the present simple, the present continuous, the present perfect, etc. Okay, so here's just kind of some basic rules for all of these. So in any of the continuous tenses, like I said, the present continuous, the past continuous, present perfect continuous, future continuous, etc., we always have the verb to be plus ing, always. There are no exceptions, okay? In the perfect tenses, here we go. Again, the present perfect, past perfect, etc. We will always use the verb have in its present, whoops, I don't want had in that one. In its present form conjugated correctly for the subject, and in the past, okay, here. Plus the past participle, which some people know that as the third column. When you're learning the verbs, for example, the verb go, okay? The infinitive is to go. In the first column, you would say go or maybe goes, depending on the subject. In the second column, it would be the past simple, which is went, and the third column would be the past participle, gone in that case. So that might have confused some people, but as long as you know what the past participle is, that's the most important here, okay? Any questions with the continuous or perfect so far? Okay, everyone's pretty quiet. That's that's a good sign.
Well, it either means we know nothing or we do know it.
Exactly. You're either embarrassed to ask or you don't know what's going on. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we should take an agreement what kind of sign we have to do when we are not.
It would be the no and oh, okay. I said, if I go, whoops, now I can't see anything. There we go. Okay, see still that page. All right, great. Well, let me go to the future ones, okay? This is the future, I think it's called the basic future. That's what we have will and won't. One moment here. Okay, great. So we're using will or won't. Won't is the negative form of the future. And this is the bare infinitive. I use the base verb. We can use the infinitive without to, okay? So for example, tomorrow I will eat lunch. Okay, so that's a basic sentence there. Tomorrow I will eat. Or tomorrow I won't have chicken. Okay, so it's just the base verb or the bare infinitive here. Next one.
Can I ask
about yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sometimes people say, I'm having a dinner tonight.
Ooh.
Is it a future using gerunds?
Okay. Well, that's different. So that's a different future, but yes. And let me. Uh-oh. Do you still see the screen?
No, it's black now.
What happened? Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black.
Okay. I don't know what happened there. So I am going to have a dinner. Is that what I'm typing this, Ken? Is that what you wanted? Okay, first, the only thing I want to say...
I say, sorry, I'm not talking about going to. Sometimes people say gerund form. I'm having a dinner tonight.
Okay. Well, the only thing I do want to say first is dinner, we don't use that. We just say, I'm having dinner. I'm having dinner, for example, tonight. And can you type the exact sentence for me?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, Simon, tell me about that. I am having, having dinner tonight. Like that.
Okay, yep, this is the present continuous with future meaning.
Okay.
Is that it? You can also use what I said, I'm going to have, be going to future tense. Both of them are basically the same. There's really no difference between the two, okay? So yes, so this will and won't is just one of the... Ken, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Perfect, good. Let's move on here. Now this is past simple, and I think it just means to be the normal simple. Okay, so this is just the simple tenses. So all simple tenses require the auxiliary do. This is for present. And we're also missing one here. Does anyone know which other auxiliary verb we're missing for the present tense? Anyone?
To be.
No, the word does. The auxiliary does.
Yes.
It was so easy that no one got it. That's
I thought in general.
Nope, that's okay. Maybe I didn't ask correctly either, so that's fine. So do and does for the present, okay, and then didn't will be for our past, okay? And these are used in negatives or questions, okay? So let me just write some sentences here because I can't write on the slides. So for the present, I don't eat, there's not much that I don't eat. How about, I don't drink cola. I don't drink cola, okay? And he doesn't eat meat, let's say. Okay, so those are the two examples for the present. And then for the past, you didn't visit me, for example. Okay, so those are the negatives. And for the questions, We can say, do you like chocolate?
Coca-Cola.
For example. And then let's see, does Thomas enjoy learning English, for example, could be with the third person. Were you shaking your head no?
No, of course not.
What? And then in the past, we would say, did you visit Rome last year? Okay, for a different example.
I did.
Questions. Did you? Okay. I'm so glad you did.
And pizza.
That's true. That's true. Do you like fizzy drinks, Thomas? That's a good example. That's a good answer. Okay, perfect. Any other questions so far with this slide? Looks like things are going okay so far. And so all it says here is the bare infinitive is the infinitive without to, just like I said here, okay? So what I think we can do is we will continue on, okay, to basically more in-depth and more information, okay, than the last ones, okay? So actually, maybe I can have someone read these. So Ken, would you like to read about the present simple?
Okay. Present simple. Example. I am a woman. The
No, you're
building
not.
is.
I'm kidding. Sorry. Do continue.
Yeah. She plays football every week. Water boils at 100 degrees. He loves her. Structure. Subject plus verb in present. Functions. To describe long-term situation, routines, habits, and to describe general facts and feelings. Keywords. Adverbs of frequency. For example, sometimes.
All right, perfect. So any questions here? I suppose I am the only woman in the group. Sorry, Ken. Anything else? Any questions? Like there's, the two different types. There's or I am, which is different. Is. Then we have she plays, boils, and loves. Okay. Any other questions? Pretty easy, right?
That's pretty easy, yeah.
All right. Well, Marco, would you like to read the second part? And I'm just going to move it up so you can see all of it. Can you see everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So Marco, do you want to read about the present continuous, please?
Of course, it would be a pleasure for me. Second, present continuous. Example, I'm eating now. She isn't eating now. Structure, subject plus verb to be plus verb in continuous. Functions, something happening at the moment of speaking after certain verbs, e.g., like, love, enjoy, hate. Keywords, at the moment, now.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any questions here? I could see that the functions part maybe being a little confusing. Questions about anything?
Maybe we could say, by relating what Aka said earlier, present continuous can be used in certain kind of situation like a future, no? Just we said, just you said earlier. So of course, in this moment, we are expressing is using in the present, but he has other functions.
Exactly. Different uses, different ways. Absolutely. The only thing I'd like to do is where it says For example, the like, love, enjoy, and hate, I'm going to write some sentences. So, for example, I like to dance, or I like dancing, is the same meaning, okay? When we use like, love, enjoy, hate, we can use the next verb with the ing, which is what it's saying here, or in the infinitive with to.
You're saying
Okay.
that I like to dance is the same as I like dancing.
Correct.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, Thomas?
I'm trying to think about that one. I like to dance is a very general. Yeah, I suppose they're both. I like dancing in general. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But
Yes.
excuse me, Rebecca, just to connect what you said now. From what I know, I'm not I am correct or not, but I read that, for example, when I use I like, if I should use in this form, for example, I like to have a test, a health test once in a year. I like to have it's used like a strong affirmation. I required have this kind of test every year, and in this kind of situation, I shouldn't use I like having a test once in a year. Is it correct, my interpretation, or not?
Well, I've also heard too, for example, that with the ing, it sounds more like it's from the UK. With the infinitive, it sounds more American. I think both sound perfectly fine. I've talked to different people from England. They say the same thing. So, if you really want to emphasize, you would also do that with your tone. Okay, so you could say, I love to dance. I absolutely love to dance. Okay, so it's a different way to emphasize because you're slowing down your speech, maybe. But as far as grammar, I don't see any difference at all between the two.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. The only thing I do have to say is that with enjoy, we have to use the ing, and this comes from verb patterns. Okay, that's different. that's a whole nother day or two of classes. So I enjoy teaching, for example, is correct. I enjoy to teach is impossible. So no.
But I enjoy dancing.
Of course. Yep, any verb, as long as, I mean, it only happens when you have another verb after. I enjoy chocolate, for example, is perfectly fine. I enjoy eating chocolate, okay? Because chocolate is not a verb. Obviously, we're not going to add ing after it. It's only when there is another verb. Okay?
Yep.
Good. All right. Well, Thomas, do you feel like reading today?
Oh, yeah, sure. What am I reading? You need to go up a bit.
Well, be careful. I need to go down a bit.
Be careful. ing is not always present continuous. For example, they love playing tennis. This is not present continuous. The ing here is a gerund that comes after certain verbs.
So this is exactly what I was just saying. Okay. There are other examples. Any questions? Okay. For example, when the verb is the subject of this sentence, the verb also begins. It also uses the ing form of the gerund. So playing football is exciting, we'll say. Oops, exciting. Oh gosh, and now I've made a mistake and it's recording.
Oh no.
Exciting. Stop. Can you edit that out?
Football can be excited. No, I'm afraid I can't.
I actually can't.
Sorry.
Okay, so my fingers slipped there.
Sorry,
Marco, do you have
Rebecca.
a question?
I have a question for Thomas. Earlier, when he said he read about the ing here is a gerund, he said, but from what I know, the pronunciation is different. Gerund. Have
Yeah.
I heard? Is the same?
Gerund, yeah. I'm sure
mean-
Becky will correct my English, no doubt.
Well, I do say gerund, but I've heard it pronounced a little different. So I say gerund. All right.
You
No,
say
just for
tomato, I
curiosity.
say tomato.
We could go there too. So I
Sorry, Thomas.
No, no.
I didn't want to correct you. Just
I think it's Garant, but if she says gerund, then she might be
no,
absolutely
no,
right.
it's the same. Just curiosity, you know.
Well,
Of course, your English is to an highest level
Okay.
out of mind. But
well, let me
You're
tell
just
you.
trying to catch me out, aren't you, Marco? You're trying to see where I make mistakes and then hope that Becky tells me off.
but at the same time, it's not common to pronounce this kind of word. So any
It's not
problem?
something.
Yeah.
It's not something I would have used with my psychiatric patients. No.
Yeah, right. We don't talk about grammar. I didn't know this word. People are saying gerund. I was like, what's gerund? So I have a tiebreaker here. I went to word reference and I'm going to play the pronunciation. All right. So I'm hoping you can hear this. 1 minute.
Gerund.
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 There you go, Marco.
Very
You're
good
right.
English.
You've called me out. Bam!
Oh man. That's okay. I actually was never, I'm not good at those PH words like psychologist, psychiatric, all of those words that start with like PS, PH, something. It really takes me a long time to read those. It's actually interesting how people have different, I don't want to say problems, but maybe issues or situations that are more difficult when you think those are pretty easy. For example, the alphabet. With my job teaching, you would think the alphabet would be super easy. It's not. Let me tell you, people here have such a difficult time with the ABCs. So don't worry, Thomas. We all have our ups and downs of.
Oh, we do. I know.
No, but
Nobody's perfect here. Nobody's perfect.
I'm sure Akka would have pronounced it perfectly. So
yeah.
English sounds and Japanese sounds are pretty much different, so I have to practice a lot.
Considering Ken wants pronunciation classes.
you can now go to New York, and it would be interesting to know, wouldn't it, what how Donald Trump would pronounce it, or whether
slide, Thomas.
it would be even more interesting to know whether he knows what a present continuous is, or whether he knows what a gerund is. But that's another lesson altogether.
I'm sure he doesn't. That's what I can say.
A good mistake on Twitter's mistake. He made a lot of mistakes of his English. Yeah, to correct
This
that.
is the greatest gerund we have ever had in the US. I've been grappling with my gerund all day.
Thomas, don't be too gutted. Because
Only America has a gerund.
He tweeted unprecedented or something like that. People,
Look, whatever you think about Trump and Brexit and all of the other things, it's going to be a great time for humor for the next 4 years. So anyway,
Okay.
let's continue.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we were recording, I will not comment on that. Okay.
Get into trouble. It's all right. I'm in Germany, and
Technically, they can't do anything. I'm not in the country, so. All right. So, Ken, why don't you go ahead and read about the present perfect? Okay.
Okay. Present perfect. Example. Have eaten 3 apples today. Have you had dinner yet? That new cinema still hasn't opened. Structure: subject plus have, has plus past participle. Function: experience, recent, recent actions. Keywords: already, yet. Incorrections or negatives. Still negatives. Just.
All right, very good. Any questions here?
Oh,
So,
maybe
yes.
the same old question that every English learners has always had in their minds. The difficulty to use, no, this kind of tenses, especially
Yeah.
for Latin people like I am, or even in the country where you have been living,
Mhm.
Rebecca. No? For us, it's quite difficult to use this kind of tense because in our mind we use in a different way, no, in our
Mhm.
own native language.
Exactly. So, um, the main question normally with the present perfect is what's the difference between the present perfect and the past simple?
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so for example, right? So we can say, yesterday I went to the store, for example. Okay. Um, that is yesterday. The action happened, it's finished. Okay. So that's why we're using the past simple. Plus, we're using the time clause today. Okay. So if we change this and we say, I have been to the store today. This is a recent action. Maybe you got back an hour ago, maybe 5 minutes ago. So it's something recent. Okay? And we're talking about today. Do you see that difference? We can also
What
say
about, so what's the difference then when I say I went to the store yesterday, for example?
that means the action has finished and it's in the past.
Okay.
So I'm confused because I was learned present perfect cannot be used in a specific time like today or at 6 a.m. or something like that. But in this case, it's possible.
The present perfect, I would say no, because it's a specific time. With the I have been to the store today, that means today in general. Maybe it was earlier today, maybe it was just, more
See.
recent. I have just been to the store, for example. That uses the just right now, not long ago. So
I
it's
see.
your time clauses, Ken, that you're talking about, because you're saying, let's say at 8 a.m. I went to the gym. I don't know who would wake up that early to go to the gym. But for example, I went at 8 a.m. I went to the gym. Your time clause, your specific moment is 8 a.m.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I don't know if this is going to be helpful, but like open or closed time because you went to the gym and that moment that you left your house, you arrived to the gym, that's finished. That's done. Okay, today is more open. We have 24 hours there. Okay? Any other question?
So
Oh,
yesterday I went to the store. Sorry.
please. Go
Sorry.
on, go
I-
on.
one more question. Yesterday I went to the store. I have been to the store yesterday. Are same meaning? What
I don't
different?
like the present perfect. I have been to the store. I would not use that with yesterday. You can use it alone. I've been to the store. It's kind of like an open moment. I don't know when exactly you went to the store, but I know that you have gone. So it's being more in general. And we also use the present perfect For example, have you ever been to, let's say,
Disneyland.
Sure, we'll say Disneyland. I don't know if it's one word or two. I think it's one. Hold on.
I think it's
So have you ever been to Disneyland? This is an open time. We're not saying last year, like I said with my example about Rome. Did you go to Rome last year? I could not say, have you been to Rome last year? That is not correct. And it's because of those time moments.
Mm.
Does that make sense? Or is
Yes, maybe last correction is almost like experience, right?
Well, this is talking about your life. Your life is pretty, big. It's a pretty big time situation. Yesterday is a lot shorter.
Okay.
Do you have specific questions, Ken?
No, thank you very much.
Okay. No,
that sounded a bit aggressive. Do you have any specific questions, Ken?
Well,
Is
no,
there
I mean-
anything else?
I'm looking for specific examples because I'm trying to use basically the same sentence, the same verb, but a different time clause.
Yeah.
For example, excuse me, Rebecca.
Yes.
For example, you could join a sentence with a present simple, a present perfect, all together. For example, yesterday I went to the store and I lost my keys. I haven't found it yet.
I haven't found. Okay, well, you're
Oh.
using the past simple with the present perfect.
Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
possible. Because,
Yeah, absolutely.
an incident, happened yesterday, but the result is still today. I have been affected by the bad result. For example, in this case, I haven't found
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. Because there's a different way that we can use this tense as well. And that's when, in a specific moment in the past, something happened. Okay? For example, in 2011, I moved to Spain. One moment. Okay, I'm saying a specific year. Okay, and that's I'm using the past simple. I have lived in Spain for 5 years. Well, it'll be 6 in September, so 5.5-ish, more or less, okay? I have lived because the action of me living here started in 2011, and I'm currently still here. So that's the other use of the present perfect.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Ken?
No, I don't have a correction now. Thank you.
Okay. I was like, no, you don't understand? Okay.
I understand.
Okay. Good. Well, why don't we go to the present perfect continuous, and Marco, if you would be so wonderful and read that for us, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, of course. For present perfect continuous. Example, I've been eating. She's been running. It's been snowing. Structure, subject plus have, has, plus been, plus verb in continuous form. Functions, recent actions with a present consequence. I am full or she's tired now. Keywords, recently, lately.
Very good.
Yeah, and so, sorry. And from what I know, in some cases, is it possible to use with the same meaning present perfect or present perfect continuous, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm. Living in Spain for 5 years.
But of course, present perfect continuous emphasize the aspect of
right now.
a continuous action, no?
Exactly. So, for example, I have been living in Spain for 5 years. It has the same exact meaning as I have lived in Spain. When we're using the verbs to live and to work, I can't type right now. To live and to work, both of these tenses mean the exact same thing. There is no difference.
But in other situation, the meaning is a bit different, no? For example, I made this cake for my son, no? Or for example, I've been making this cake for 3 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like these sentences, I have eaten 3 apples today. You have finished eating those 3 apples.
Right.
Here, if you say, I have been eating 3 apples, it sounds to me at least that you're eating the 3rd apple still. It's still happening in this exact moment. So that's
the
a
beauty
really
of
good
the
example.
English language.
Yep.
This tiny difference that is not related. For example, for Italian, we don't have this kind of very fine distinction.
Okay. Well, good. Well, I'm glad I could explain that. Ken, do you have any questions, Thomas?
No, that sounds perfect.
Is everything clear
Thank
to
you,
you?
Thomas. Thank you.
Yes, it's clear.
Good, good. I am
I
quite.
don't dare to speak now in case you correct my English.
No.
Good. So
It
but
would be
it's okay if you
impossible
have questions,
to have a
Thomas.
competition about English with you for me. I have lose it by starting at the start immediately.
It's always good to review. I think it's always good to review tenses anyway, because there's so bloody many of them in English. It really is quite complicated, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, totally
It is
agree.
and it can be. And because I'm a native speaker, because I learned this, you know, I learned how to speak before I learned the grammar. I mean, I didn't learn the grammar until I got to Spain, until I lived here. Because, you know, when we're growing up, we don't focus on, we focus on, sure, subject, adjective, parts of speech. But as far as tenses, no one, you know, who's I would say a normal, like a non-English teacher, no one knows what these verb tenses are. And so now that I've experienced these verb tenses and now I use them, I think it's a lot easier for me to explain them. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me, but it has to make sense to everybody else too. So Rocky, it's nice to see you. We're going over verb tenses. Any questions specifically about verb tenses or how you are today? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, Ken, are you sure that the present perfect continuous is fine for you?
And I have another question about related to this issue. You know,
Yep.
I'm having dinner tonight. I will have dinner tonight. What is the difference?
Okay, so when you use I am having dinner tonight, or I am going to have dinner tonight, like I said, there's basically no difference. This is when the action is planned. You know that you will eat that, well, you will, that you are going to eat dinner tonight. I'll eat dinner tonight is more like in the moment. Okay, this isn't the best situation to explain it. For example, I open the fridge, okay, and I see that we don't have any eggs, and I want eggs. So I'll go get some, okay? I'll go get some eggs is because I didn't know before that we didn't have eggs. So this is an immediate situation, okay? If I open the fridge and I say, oh, we don't have any eggs, and my husband says, oh, I know, I'm going to get some later. I'm going to get some eggs later. That means he knew that we didn't have any eggs. So that's the difference there. One action is planned, and the other is kind of like in the moment.
I see. Well, thank you very much. I didn't know that.
Okay, good. Well,
So
yes,
what's
so
the
there is a
difference?
difference.
So what's the difference then Where was it? I'm going to get some eggs later. I'm going. No, okay. No. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Darn,
Yeah.
I was excited about your question. I like to be
No.
challenged. Not today, not today.
I messed it up.
That's fine. Any questions with that? I mean, that's a really good question. I enjoy that question.
Oh, a little advice to Thomas, please. Don't eat too many eggs because they are not good for your health, please.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm going to stop sharing this, and we can. What I'd like to do actually is continue this a different day. Okay, I feel there's like probably 8 to 9 more slides of information. So I will definitely do all about verb tenses part 2 and probably part 3. So Thomas, I might rearrange my schedule just because you don't have all of them in the schedule right now. So
Should I just resend it and
so fantastic. All right. More confusing. Yep.
So there's another.
Okay. Well, other questions? Yeah.
8 to go.
Around there, yeah. I'm just gonna double check. I don't even know what slide I'm on right now. I'm on slide 5. There's about 10 more slides. So I would say about 2 more classes. We'll cover all of just the basics of the verbs.
Very good.
Any specific questions about anything? Anything we note? Judges?
Yes, about schedule. What date or what time is the next
Well,
class gonna be?
basically,
It's always
all
Saturdays and
of my
Wednesdays.
classes.
Okay, regular schedule.
Well,
Container.
it's Wednesday and then Saturday, Wednesday and Sunday, Wednesday and Saturday.
It's
In March,
mostly
when I
Wednesday
do
and
go
Saturday,
to
but there's-
Amsterdam, those dates.
Yeah. It's mainly Wednesdays and Saturdays, but there's one exception, I think. I can't remember which one it is, but so the next one is on the 29th.
When I go to Amsterdam.
That's right. When I can't see you.
Which is Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. Okay.
So the next one is Sunday, then it's back to Wednesday, then it's Saturday, then it's back to Wednesday, and then it should be Sunday again. All until March, until I go to Amsterdam. Then I'll do things a little different. Basically, at Wednesday and then one weekend day.
Can we know the time? For the post on the Facebook like this class?
I try to. It's a little bit of work, but I'll try to create some events and see whether we can. But the problem is we can't post the link till about 10 minutes beforehand because again, you simply can't do it because the link is generated when Becky opens the class. So we literally cannot. I've tried to find a way to post the link beforehand, but we simply can't. So the easiest way is simply to enter via Integra, to be honest, at the moment, as long as you can still log in. That still works.
Maybe
So that's my suggestion. All you have to be is logged into Google account, into the Google account, and then just press enter, and that works quite well. And we will post. And I know that Becky's also been posting it on Facebook, which is good. But we can't post it any earlier than about 5-10 minutes before the lesson.
So in my Integra, next class of Becky is 11 p.m. Maybe January 25th.
It's today.
So today.
Today's.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's today.
I got it. Yeah, because I make confused. Okay.
29th.
Okay, yeah. January 29th, 11 p.m. here. Is that the next class?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
As long as your computer time is accurate, that should be accurate.
Yeah. Maybe checking in Integra side is maybe best to me, maybe.
At the moment, that's the easiest, yeah. And
Okay,
I
thank you.
know, I mean, Rocky was just saying that Martha has difficulty with her time. Unfortunately, there's really not a lot we can do about that at the moment. So we will keep it, and I won't be. Becky will be the only one doing classes, and I will do some conversation classes soon as well. But I want to keep it small, and I want to keep it much simpler than. It got too big for me in Tanga. That was part of the problem, and I was literally working sort of 9-10 hours a day on Intenga, and I like to travel and see people and go to Italy and
Yeah,
go
maybe
to
someone
Spain and
Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast.
yeah,
has been
you can
waiting
stop
for
it.
you.
I'm going
Maybe
to stop. Sorry,
someone.
I'm going to stop the broadcast.